Hello, people. Welcome to yet another episode of the To Be Quite Honest podcast powered by Mixta Africa. So, as usual, I'm Big Ben, and with me is the very beautiful Ore.
Hi guys.
And today we have not one, but two guests, two popular guys, two well known guys, two major influencers, two. They're acting like I'm flattering them, but I mean, they hear this every day. So, we have Harry
Maybe they should introduce
and
themselves.
we have Pamela. So, I mean, the floor is just tell us, introduce yourselves basically. I'll
Yeah,
start with you, Harry.
yeah. I still struggle with being called an influencer because I've never charged for influencing unlike this small guy here. So yeah, my name is Harry. Popularly known as Harry will be on Twitter, social media. I'm the head of marketing at a tech company. I've been a tech marketer for a few years now. Yeah, so that's basically me. I'm just a marketer.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah, Pamilerin guys, I'm Adikoke Pamilerin, and I'm just a PR enthusiast. Enthusiast, go ahead, and a digital marketer, basically, that's what I do.
Okay.
Okay.
So we have
Great.
two marketers in the house.
Yeah.
Actually, three marketers. I'm a marketer myself. I'm a real estate marketer.
Already
we
is the
love-
only person on
Or is
marketing.
the
I'm an accountant.
Yes, an accountant.
Anyways, so we're happy to have you guys here. Today we want to discuss a topic that I feel like is on the mind of every young person because even when you consider the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, housing, shelter is really important.
Yeah.
But a lot of the young people that work today, they complain about the inaccessibility or just the lack of what they would like to find in the market. So we're talking about the ideal housing for working youths. If we need to start considering capsule homes, or you feel like the industry should just keep building what they're doing currently. So before we get into it, let me start with you because you're closer to me.
Yeah.
Tell me, I know you're married. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What has your experience been like housing? Did you have to change your house when you got married? Did you keep your bachelor space? What's the experience like?
So for me, for quite a while, I've always liked big houses. Even when I was married, I've always stayed in a 3 bedroom alone.
Okay.
So when I got married, it was easy to just put my things,
Arrange
I
your
rearrange
things
them,
and, yeah.
and for the woman to come in, and do our magic in the house. So I did not have to change apartment. And the
Oh,
rest
you
of it.
kept
I
your.
kept it.
Did it affect like your wife where she worked? Did she have to?
No,
move?
because I already have enough space. I already have a big space.
No, I meant like a place of work, like
no,
logistically.
no, at all.
So it was just like perfect.
It was perfect.
And I know you're not married, but you have been struggling and lamenting about your new place on all over social media. So tell us, what's the experience been like?
Yes. So I just moved to the island because I've worked remotely for forever, and I've gotten so comfortable doing that. And then all of a sudden, my new company just said, "Guys, we are setting up a space on the island." And because I sort of head marketing, I was told, you have to be very close to us. Because there's going to be a lot of running arounds and meetings and all of that, and many of those things happen on the island.
Okay.
So I decided to move. Yeah,
You sound like you regret this. Just
I
like,
think
hey,
I think you regret
just like,
it.
was like, hey, God.
yeah. Thinking about it right now, I do not think that it is
Right move.
Yeah, like I said on social media, I've invested, including rents, close to 50 million.
50.
On somebody
15, yeah.
Okay.
Furnishing, rent, and all of that. So yeah, it's
What exactly do you regret about this?
so a lot of things. First, I didn't do proper research before getting the place. I was just told about the rent, and I immediately jumped into paying.
So they caught you.
Yeah, that was where they caught me because
Okay.
the service charge is some people's
Salary.
3 years rent.
Oh, really? But you have lights.
I mean, it's service. I mean, yes, 24/7. But for example, my monthly electricity bill gets up to 300K.
Wow.
Wow.
So
It's not easy to live on the island.
it's
Overrated place.
so I saw the cheap rent. I'm like, yo, I'm taking this. And then when the other things started coming, I was like, yo, I didn't see this
I'm
coming.
taking this.
Yeah, and I mean, the place is fantastic. It's a very good neighborhood.
Yeah, okay.
24/7 security.
Oh, okay.
It's in an estate within an estate, so
Okay.
it has its own security.
You
And
have a
it's
gym, you
24/7
have a
lights.
pool.
There's a pool, there's a gym, there's all of that. I don't use
Why are you
that.
not
though.
complaining now?
I'm just looking at
Um,
you. No, I mean,
Why are you
maybe,
not
maybe
complaining?
there's something else
Like,
you
you are
want.
living the
You
life,
tell us.
island boy.
I mean,
What would you say would have made this ideal minus the extra charges? Was there anything particular like how the houses were built they were looking for?
I didn't have anything in particular in mind, other than I wanted like a super big space. So I saw somewhere um, around VGC, and I was about to pay for it before the house agent, God bless her soul, was kind enough to tell me that you work remotely, and there's really bad network here. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, so we had to go look for some other place. That's where I found. In fact, the same day I found that place, and it was just love at first sight. Very cool neighborhood, like I mentioned, 24/7 lights.
So you did go to see the place.
Yeah, I did.
Great. So when you went to look at the place, did you ask anyone? Did you see anyone? Did you ask?
I mean, that was another rookie sort of mistake that I did. Considering that this is sort of like my first time.
First time renters, take note.
Yes, first time renting. So I didn't ask any neighbors. So it was just super cheap. I had a budget for rent of around 3.5 that could go as high as 4M if I really liked the place, and then I saw a place that was 3.2, and then I negotiated 2.8 on the spot,
And they agreed.
and I agreed.
You should have known.
And I was like, yo, send me account details like now. So yeah, I didn't do my research. In fact, the first sign of trouble was when one of my car dealer friend was like, I knew this place. The few of my clients that live here, some of them celebrity, I have few celebrity neighbors, and many of them want to move out. I was like, why? Like,
It stays not is in the celebrity.
I like
estates.
the pay as high as is three. I don't know how to do that calculation, but it's around 301 per kilowatt, I think.
Oh, really? For the power?
Yeah, for the power.
Wow.
So
That's extremely high.
so for someone that, I mean, I didn't know all of this. I was already bringing in all the big AC and bring all the 85-inch screen TV, and I was like, yo, I'm going to keep this place furnishing. And then first week I put in 50K lights.
And you finished.
I didn't
And
last
like-
up to 3 days. I was like, yeah.
So now
I'm
you don't
dead.
sleep with AC.
No, I still sleep with my AC, but I mean, luckily I earn enough to be able to afford these things. Get out of here. but it's still crazy if you have to pay 300K
Yeah.
for lights.
It is
in a
ridiculous.
month.
It is ridiculous to be honest.
It is. It's crazy. I mean, if for celebrities to be even thinking of moving out,
I
then
mean,
who are you?
They still earn money like everyone else. So I guess I mean, but I hear you. And I think it's interesting that for someone who does marketing, who's worked for a while, you say you've done like you've worked remotely for a long time. It's interesting that these are things that you didn't think about before you even took the space, and it's something I feel like a lot of young people as well. Maybe they might not consider. Would you consider like purpose-built apartments for like younger people? I know you have both said like you really want space, you like the idea of like big houses, but all the challenges you've laid out, do you not think that capsule housing would have solved most of them?
I agree, but the thing about Nigeria or Lagos, especially Lagos, no landlords wants to build house for
Fair.
working class people or for young people, except you are a student, and the least you can, the highest you see is shared space, and I don't think people really like shared space.
Yeah, I mean,
Me
like,
personally,
you don't
even
want
when
to
I
be
was a
like
student, I don't even share my space to start
Fair.
with. So now me going to work and I'm coming back at
somebody's in
night.
your kitchen,
Somebody's
they're
in my
eating your
kitchen.
food from your fridge.
You get, and
It's
somebody's on
just
my
long.
bed. And
No, I don't think they
now I'm a
share.
guest,
I don't
and I
think
cannot
they
even
share.
enter because
So
you are
here's
knocking
the
a
thing,
girl.
I don't think they share.
They don't share, but
I don't think they
bad character
share.
can make some people get
But
out
No.
of
they share the
bed.
living room and they share kitchen.
Yeah, but why is someone in your bed if it's share his living room is share?
So
You
now I
lock
want to
your
have
room
a
and go
guest.
to
I
the
want to have a
office
guest.
now.
Yeah, I want to have a guest.
Okay.
So
you
the
don't
moment I'm
you
coming
don't
on
want your flatmate to see who your guest is. That what
Yeah.
that's
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
And again, in this part of the world, in Nigeria, I don't think they don't consider some certain people. They just build houses. They just want to make their money and move on. Collect their rent, collect their agreements, collect their commission, and move on. And collect service charge like our uncle, 300,000 on lights, and move on. I don't think capsule houses is a thing here.
Do you think they can become a thing? And I just want to ask you because I think you're a marketer. I mean, you said you're a marketer and like you've worked in tech. Do you think it's something that can become a thing?
Just like Pamela said, I don't think there's enough sort of total addressable market for capsule houses.
You think so?
Okay, I think there's a market, but I don't think developers, real estate developers, are looking at that market. I don't think it's lucrative enough for them.
Why?
I think they would rather build houses that would go to the highest bidders, and that's it for them. And that is why there's a certain type of people that live in certain types of places on the island.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I even have them as neighbors, and these are the guys that can comfortably. I mean, they don't have a problem paying the 1.5 million service charge that I pay, because I mean they have the means. So I think for a real estate developer, it's not about that we want to cater for a specific target audience, young working class people. It's about
Not the money.
I want to build a house. I know the going rate is around 2 million naira, but if one guy say he want to pay 4 million naira, another person is saying he want to pay 3, of course I'll go for the highest bidder.
Okay.
That's it for them. I mean, the same thing where I stay. So like I told you, the fixed rent, the rent rather was stated rent was 3.2 million, and then I was able to negotiate up to 2.8. The people that I know that pay as high as that 3.2. Some people pay 2.9. So for them, it's just what is the highest you can cough out immediately, and so I don't think they're interested in building properties or houses for spaces for my kind of people.
If they were, though, would there be demand?
No, I think there's market for it, but I
You
don't
think
think
there's, like,
I
demand?
think there's a market, but I don't think they are
think-
very together for that market.
Yeah.
I think there's a market for
There's
it,
a
but I
market.
think the market cannot afford
Really? You
For
think?
those
Capsule houses.
prime locations. If we're to have the capsule location in prime
Yes,
locations,
probably be
the
some
market
No, but it's
cannot afford
definitely
it.
no. But I think so. Here's the thing: like, capsule houses are not going to be anything. No, no.
Those are places they'll use it.
No, but to be fair, I mean, you're all working remotely anyways. What are you coming to do on the island?
I mean,
Maybe Korodu.
Exactly. So I'm thinking, like, you can literally be in, like,
meetings, events. I mean, I work in marketing. That's why I tell people. People like, oh, the money you spend in this house, you could have gone to a Bomb. You could have gone to.
why would you go
Honestly.
to? You know, I hate when people say that. Like, why do you?
I mean,
go to
developers
Akwa Ibom?
can, like technical guys can, developers can,
Yeah, they are not
designers can,
client
but
facing.
not
But
someone that's marketing.
what about like your social life?
You look for it in Akwa Ibom now.
God bless you. I mean, for someone like me, I'm not really all about the social life.
Okay.
Yes, I don't think that would have been a factor. But if I wasn't in market, if I was a developer or a product designer, I definitely would have moved to Akwa Ibom.
Is that where you're from?
No. It's just
Because you've said like 3 times. Like, oh my god.
You're not from
because
Akwa Ibom.
I'm not.
Where are you from?
I'm an Igbo boy. What's the problem? So
So why have you mentioned Akwa Ibom?
That's what I'm
because
wondering.
because
Not
because,
even
because a lot of remotes, a lot of people that stay in Akwa Ibom, they are trying to position the states
As okay, like a okay,
for remote workers. They tell you the roads are good, there's no traffic, things are cheap. You can get a
power.
duplex for 2 million naira.
And I know you wanted to do place, so that would have been a very good one.
I was actually considering going there, but then I
You were
work in marketing.
considering.
Yeah, at the time, my former job, I wasn't having as much meetings as I am right now, because our clients were more sort of African facing and not like local
Okay.
facing. So, but that is different now. Most of our customers are Nigerian, so you have your meetings here, also events here. I mean, we had an event not so long ago. Would I have not start thinking about booking a flight every weekend? I will have an event from Akwa Ibom.
So do you think this is like a cultural thing? This like reluctance to live like so far away from the middle? Because you find like in other countries, everyone doesn't live like in central. Like people live like outside and they come in. But I feel like in Lagos, do you think it's a traffic issue, or do you think everyone just wants to be on the
Every
island?
issue from traffic. And that's the divider. The traffic I will face when I get to
But
Becca.
but here's
to get to the
there's a
island.
train. There's a train that works. There's a train.
So there's a timing. Train works twice a day.
Now it's
Imagine
what
I'm getting off work 4 p.m.
Okay.
I'll not be for 2
And
hours.
if you miss your
If you
train,
now miss it,
it's
everybody
tomorrow.
here.
Okay,
Till the
okay,
next day.
okay.
Just Google stay in Lagos.
Okay.
Just stay in your Lagos.
Okay,
You know,
okay,
so there's a
so-
lot of factor.
Yeah,
You know,
to consider.
So
For me, what-
infrastructure wise, it's tough.
it is. It is. Even the country is not helping you to stay in another state and work in another state.
For me, what
Yeah,
I'd like to
super
find
difficult.
out, like, so when you choose these places where you want to stay, how does it affect your creative processes? Seeing that you're people who mostly work from home, right? So, how does where you work from, that is not just the immediate inside your apartment, but like
Like
the
the environment,
itself,
like
how does it impact on, what
the
you
work
do,
that
basically?
you do.
Yeah, so the thing I like about the island is just how calm
Yeah.
and serene some neighborhoods are.
Just say some neighbor. Which one is island?
Yeah,
As
not
in-
no. I mean, it can be chaotic, but honestly, when you enter where people live, it's usually very quiet. Trust me, I'm coming
People
from
live
the mainland.
everywhere. Ah,
You're
so
coming
you're
from
not in
where?
your estate.
Trust me, I'm coming from my
Oh,
yeah, the
wait,
estate now. Yeah.
Where do you used to live before? I need to know because
Surulere.
the way I do like this island is heaven, and I'm
No,
just
no, no,
like,
no. Trust me, island is not heaven. I'm just saying that.
compared to Surulere.
Yeah, like
Where
even
in Surulere did you stay before?
stop asking me questions. So
okay.
Where you Surulere? I used to do so I can know where you're coming from, where you are going, and where you are now. So we know where you
Okay,
are
wait.
going to.
Okay, no, okay. Some areas in Surulere are not they're not relatively as calm as.
as the Body Thomas and the Adeniran Ogusu, no doubt.
Oh,
Okay.
You've seen
Um,
life.
But yeah, like when I moved to the island, I was staying somewhere before I got my own place, even on the island.
Okay.
And it was just very perfect. Like, I mean, where I was coming from in Suluri, like, then when I moved to Ireland, you're hearing like the sounds of like
Noise.
Yeah,
cars
you're no longer
passing,
parking on the street.
all
Those
of
kind
that.
of things.
Yeah, so actually, I mean, that was a very important factor for me. Yes, also parking on the street was very important because they used to always scratch my cars and all of that. But yeah, it's different. So talking about my creative process, yeah, I work remotely, so it was important that I get somewhere that was really super calm and quiet, because most of my meetings are done virtual. So I needed a place like that, and yes, my current place gives me that, but and yes, no need, I mean, I'm not perceiving the smell of weed from another room, and nobody and the doors are soundproof, so nobody's blasting music, so all of that was very important to me, and I get that there. But other than that, it's crazy. The flood is not it's crazy. I mean, it drizzled just little when I was
morning,
coming,
yeah.
and
I
you should have seen the
started
road leading to
I started swimming.
my estate.
It's like you have to swim.
I mean, it's crazy. I think I repaired my car like 3 times in the past month because of that. So
Do you think it's a small price to pay? The flooding for all these
That's a
many
very good- that's
comforts
a
you've
very
said.
good question.
No, it is like no, because you know the thing. I was going to suggest because we have had like a guest on this podcast always spoke about flooding in some areas, and he said honestly, if you want to leave, you just buy a jeep. Like don't
Actually,
even waste your time. If you have a sedan,
yes,
sell it,
just-
add money,
yeah,
just buy a
just-
jeep
just buy
because
an
it floods.
SUV, yeah.
There's no need. So
You
now
can't
what
even
I'm trying to
fight
think,
it.
like for you, you've said so many things. Like it's so calm, it's so serene. I can't hear anybody. The doors are soundproof. All of these are really benefiting the experience where you were before. Do you think it's worth because you've been lamenting about the cost, but also you're really extolling so many like positives.
yes. So I mean, it's a give and take type of thing in the sense that I love the space, but then the sort of the negatives about it are just too extreme. It's just shocking to me. The fact that I have to always drive out in the, like deep flood.
Lagos flood is shocking to you.
I mean, we're coming from where I'm coming on the mainland.
It doesn't flood on the
literally-
mainland.
Nah, it doesn't.
Not as
No,
not
it
as
doesn't.
not
Really?
as yeah,
It doesn't flood
and
in
it's not as bad
Magodo,
as
I'm
this.
sorry.
Where
I mean,
does
if there's
that go
flood
to?
on the mainland, governor will go
Yes.
there. Do you understand? Because it's
very rare.
unusual.
Really?
But on the island, are normal things.
I can't even
They
believe
don't
this
have
thing
to-
people are saying because even if
Like,
it
for
is
real.
gone, they
It
flood.
doesn't.
Like,
I've never
For real.
seen.
are you serious?
Never.
It floods actually, but not as
It's already
bad.
road
Where?
flood.
Before
What do
it
you guys
floods,
mean?
it floods in Suluri.
It floods in
Before,
your area.
before it
It floods
floods,
in
So
Suluri.
you're not
What?
used to flood already now.
no, not in my area, but before it floods in Suluri, for example, so part of Suluri,
The rain
yeah,
would
has
have
to
be
yeah.
heavy.
Like, I mean, just drizzle and it's drizzle.
You
Yeah.
can't pass.
Everywhere
You
is
can't
full.
pass. Welcome to the island.
It's embarrassing.
Is it?
So for Pamela, has it been? I mean, your workspace in relation to like
Just
your
the work that you do,
exactly.
the impact it has had.
So I enjoy it because
Also consider that you now have a wife in the house.
she goes to work too.
How nice.
Okay.
Must be nice. So not much has changed.
No, not much actually. I still have my space. I still have my mini office in the house.
Okay.
You know, even though I had to move a little bit of my stuff, you know, but I still have that. The area I stay as well is amazing. Whenever I'm blocked, I still take a stroll around. Yes, nobody's disturbing you. You walk anytime. You walk in the midnight. You take a stroll around. You know, those are the things you don't get in some places. So I really enjoy it. It gives me the ability to be able to think whenever I want to think, and I'm blocked away from the entire world whenever I'm out. I'm in my space.
But
So.
the Magodo is not cheap. Magodo is island price.
I never
actually.
said it was cheap, but I need it for island.
Yeah, but it doesn't flood them.
It doesn't flow. And I like it for 7 as well. And I don't have to pay service charge.
Well,
Wow.
are you sure you won't
I felt
consider? But what if you have like meeting on the island?
So so because of this kind of job I do, I set my meetings.
Okay.
I set the time, so you see me more outside at midnight.
Midnight.
Yes.
Okay.
So what about when you have people
Like
don't
people
you
that
have
work
people
night.
who
I don't have 9
can't
to
come
5.
out
Yeah.
The
at
clients
night.
that say, I want, can we do 3 p.m. this restaurant? What would
I'll
you say?
tell you I will do Zoom. If you can't do Zoom, I'm sorry. I
Oh.
decide.
Interesting.
But for
Nice.
for now,
Must be nice.
but when
Yeah,
I
must be
have
nice.
things I really have to do,
Yeah.
I consider I leave my house like 2 hours ahead because of traffic.
Oh,
So
wow.
but unfortunately today, when I was coming, I was like, oh, this is 12, oh, let me leave my house by 10. And I go in and I was on the road and the entire place is free. I'm like, why is Lagos
What's
free
going
today?
on?
Yeah, today's Friday.
Today's
Actually.
Friday.
That's really strange.
Yes,
Yeah.
everywhere
The
is
free
free.
days are
And I'm like, I got here in
Thursday.
22 minutes. I'm like,
Lagos has been free in the past couple of weeks, actually.
Now that I think about
Yes,
it, it's not been as
since
bad.
after Easter.
you
think
think about
about it.
Lagos.
they didn't
Someone
come
asked when
back.
I said maybe a lot of my Igbo people have not come back from the village, but I don't
No,
know.
I don't think so.
I don't
I don't know what
think
is
so. Because they have
happening in
businesses
Lagos.
here. They
But
pay.
everywhere is actually very free. And I'm
Yeah,
so,
the
I was
past
so
couple of
shocked.
weeks since
Everywhere,
Easter.
okay. I've
lot
been
of
in like
places
Lekki
since
Ekpe traffic recently. Now that I think about it,
Was it that bad?
It's normal
It's
traffic.
always-
It's
it's
not,
always-
it's
to
not
be
the
fair,
Lagos.
It's not like choke. It's always
not
like,
Lagos
Like today, I'm
traffic
so
that-
shocked. Today is Friday.
Yeah, 'cause people are going to
I
malls.
did
I'm
not
surprised.
experience
I'm
not
not
anywhere.
even 1
I'm not
minute
sure
of
what's
traffic.
happening.
Maybe,
Not 1
maybe it's
minute.
rapture
Maybe
because we are
people are
Lagosians.
jackpot.
We're out here.
I think you're all
I
sinners
don't
at
think
this
it's
point,
Japa.
though.
I think it's maybe rapture has
Not Japa.
happened.
Okay.
But
And I don't
because
think-
all of you are wicked in Lagos, none of you went to heaven, so everybody's here.
So this is questions for both of you. Anybody can go first. What's your idea of an ideal house? So, from what I understand now, you're both renting, right? So, if you were, give us an idea. What's your idea of an ideal house for you now?
To buy or to rent.
Sorry,
To buy or to
Let's
rent.
say
give
both.
us
Let's say both.
both. Yeah, give us both.
Okay, to buy, I'll give an example. I have a very popular friend. You guys, you know him. Chidi. Chidi bought a space and then he did remodel it around Aja, and then he tells me that, I mean, because I wanted to also get a space around that place, and he said, I mean, it's one of his, I mean, he regrets getting the space.
Because it's Aja.
Ajan is very, because if he decides to jackpot today, it might be very difficult for him to rent it out compared to if he had gotten a space around like Lekki or somewhere. So
Well, that's
I
what you could afford at the time.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, I feel he just saw it and he felt
You could afford
It's a
it.
good deal.
it
It's a good deal.
And at that point,
yeah,
there were a lot of
it's-
prospects, I guess,
Yes.
in that environment. But over time, the things have changed from their lights,
Lights.
from having constant lights to having maybe 10
So he didn't
hours
dip
it.
to 5 hours.
If I thought about it,
maybe
when
down
I've
to
gotten
2
the
hours,
space.
you know.
Yes,
so a lot
yes,
things
all of
has
that
changed
has-
over time.
Yeah.
Hindsight is 2020.
So-
You can't say anything.
Yeah. So I think if I'm going to buy a space, it has to be somewhere closer to the central area and not a duplex. He also highlighted that to be 2 bedroom that'd be very easy to rent and rent
Is
for
it,
young
is it
people.
buy to rent or buy to stay?
I mean,
As
I'm
in
talking
ideal.
about buying
It's
to.
talking like
I'm talking
ideal.
about buying to, not to stay, to rent.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but if I'm going to rent a space, I think for a bachelor like me, I think 2 bedrooms is actually super good, super ideal. For example, I mean, when I got the space, I was already hearing, I'll come and stay over, I'll come and that was why I converted my other room to my study. I mean, I'm
So
not a
there's
dev
no
that needs
extra
all of that
space. Yeah,
technical
yeah.
setup that needs like a big screen. But I just used the other room to just set up an office space, so nobody's coming to sleep over. Stay in your father's house. So yeah, I think it's 2 bedrooms. I do one place for my bedroom. The kitchen is also spacious. That was another factor another reason that I got the space. Maybe side the cook or
I was going to
Like,
say, do you do
just
like
in case,
YouTube
just
cooking
in
videos?
case.
I mean, so that if my babe comes over, she has enough space to play with. So that's also another factor. And the parlor is actually super spacious. Yeah, if it's spacious, even if it's 1 bedroom, I think I would go for it. Yeah.
How about you?
So for me, if I was a bachelor, yeah, I would
That's
have
it.
preferred, and if you have loft apartments here in Nigeria, I would have preferred that.
Ooh,
You
yeah.
know,
That's the
you know
best.
what's so interesting? I don't know. Do you guys know what we do at Mixta?
Yeah, you guys do.
I do.
By the way, they do. You know that Lakwe Lakes,
Trust me, I know.
my favorite place. They.
You know,
We
we
own
have
that.
like cove lofts. We actually have
But
a bunch
where
of
you guys have it
Lakwe.
is where?
Yeah, but
The
you're the
areas.
one crying about remotes now. Yeah, you don't go anywhere. Your meetings are midnight.
Maybe people should come
You're
and have
the-
loft apartments in
you're
Magodo.
the
Maybe
best.
I won't
You're
pay.
the best. You know, honestly, I feel like you're the best person because literally you just said like you don't go out except it's 1 a.m. Nobody, you set your time.
Pamela is living every young guy's dream right
So
now. I'm not
literally,
gonna
why
lie.
can't you
And
move to
dictate
Laku?
your
Why can't you move to
meetings
Laku
and
and
all
come
of
and
that.
take
But I
one of
actually
the
love
lofts?
loft apartments.
Have you seen the ones we have at Laku?
I've not seen it.
You should come.
No, I
you
should-
should
I
come
should
and come
check
and see. Why you come and see? You don't want to go
No, hold on. Inside Lakwe.
inside
I've
Laku.
stayed. I've
Must
stayed
have
in
stayed in
one.
one.
I've stayed in one. I've
Yeah.
stayed in one. So
One bed.
I'm not staying in the
Cottage.
cottage.
Okay.
I've stayed in one. Yes, I remember.
Really nice.
Yeah.
So I think the lofts mostly work for like one bed because once it goes beyond one bed,
Well,
once
just-
like two
yeah.
beds, they now put
Out of
masonite
hand.
and all that.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
kitchen is downstairs with your living room.
Then
The room is
upstairs, the
upstairs
bedroom,
with
and you can
that
look
fine,
down.
That fine this thing. Then you can look down.
So like
look
this is
at-
Nigeria.
I can't
Yeah.
believe you
You
haven't.
should-
You should
oh, no, it's
come
actually very
actually.
nice.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I honestly, I
And
find
that's
it so
actually
strange
sponsor
that
you,
when
but
we
you have
have,
money.
my
You
life.
have money. You have money. Just you have money.
I find it so strange when people say like, "Oh, I've never been," and I think, wow,
It
like
doesn't
it's-
exist, right?
yeah, because you should come and
Actually,
see.
so-
Loft,
Where
I think
someone said,
loft
"I'm going to
apartment
be
is
there."
meant for bachelors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, people like you
Creatives. Yeah.
are the guys who
Ideal
loft apartments are
market.
just perfect for. But I'm also surprised I'm not hearing you guys talk about, say, a place like 1004, for instance.
You know,
It's fully
I
serviced.
was going to say
Nobody
like, why
likes-
don't they?
No,
Why are they
so
not even?
days of the
and it's very
1004
central.
it's over. They are living a past glory. Let's be honest. with
When you say
ourselves.
past glory,
from
what do you
maintenance,
mean?
so I've stayed there a couple of times. My friends stayed there, and they keep complaining if it's not light, it's their
Actually.
water. It
Like
makes-
it's not working.
One
or
G4
it's
is
too
no longer
expensive.
one
everything there is not
G4
working
recently.
anymore.
Oh, okay.
1004 is living on past glory.
Yeah, it's not the one G4.
When you say
recently.
past glory, but it's still in VI, which is really like the biggest like selling point for 1004 central. So
Well, what every real estate
still
we
not
sell
funny.
is
How much-
5 minutes from a hotel, 25 minutes from for Intercontinental Oriental.
but wait, I want to ask you, say like, I just think that's true now. It's still
Yeah,
5
it is
minutes
from
from a
Back Beach.
hotel. It's literally still 5. And then, I mean, you that said that they've shocked you with service charging where you've moved to. I don't know why you didn't consider 1004.
What kind of voice it's not. What kind of not my budget?
It's expensive.
Yeah, it's more expensive than
I
this.
think
Way
And
more
it's
expensive.
That
It's
is 50
way
million
more-
No, but
naira.
I mean, if
Way
you
more
if we have to
expensive.
put everything together,
Yeah, the 50
Yeah.
like
million naira claim
service
you
charge,
spend.
Oh,
cost of power, everything.
Everything,
Yeah,
yeah.
1004
It
might
probably
be more
still-
affordable
Yeah,
than
yeah,
what it
because
costs for you.
because everything including electricity for the year is around 7.2.
But I don't think we would have enjoyed 2004 because he wants to move around the estate and not see a lot of people.
1004
Have you seen the crowd in
You
1004?
can move around the estate. It's literally 1004 flats. What do you mean by there's a crowd? Of
It's
course
more than
there's a crowd.
1004 flats, so.
No, but like
It used to be
literally.
1004 flats years ago till they started building those mini things.
Yes, so my point is what? Extra 200, 1006. my point is this. It's 1006 people. Of course there's going to be a crowd. What's wrong with you guys? There's going to be a crowd there.
No, that's not meant for me. Maybe for him.
But I think it's not meant for married people. Actually, 1004
Yeah.
is no longer meant for married people. When I was in secondary school,
Wow,
Your kids will
that's
come
subject.
live upstairs.
yeah,
and
when,
go and
when
live
I was in secondary
downstairs.
school, I had a lot of
Friends.
friends. I went to King's College, so
Oh,
I had a lot
okay.
of
Yeah,
friends
there's a
there.
ton of Casey boys
Yeah,
in
KC. I had a lot of friends in 1004. It was just very. I mean, if you're living in 1004 in KC, you were one of the rich kids.
Yeah.
But right now, I don't think it has, just like you said, has that glory,
Communal
that-
vibe.
yeah,
That-
it's,
well, very few places in Nigeria
That
now
has that-
sense of community where like children come out and play. 'Cause I don't think
Queen.
I don't see kids come
Yeah,
out.
it
The kids
doesn't
they don't
happen
come
like
out to
that.
play. I've never
Even
seen
developers these days, many developers don't really have like
Even the
recreation
play
areas.
areas.
Maybe Nikon Town.
only Nikon actually. Now that I think
Yeah,
about it,
Nikon.
Dolphin also has a recreational like space.
Space, yeah.
They have like a little field
I think
thing.
Nikon is the best place, man.
Is that where you moved to?
Expensive.
No.
No.
This one.
My bad.
How much is his salary?
Please, so.
I don't know. Is that he earns enough now? Then
Yeah.
No, I said I
Yeah,
am
it's
fairly.
at the end.
Is that he can
Fairly.
pay his
I don't
300
say no, but I said
naira
fairly.
per kilowatt light? Like it's not a problem.
For now.
Why didn't you consider moving out of the place, even though if he had like all of this
The
chat?
honest truth, and I've tweeted about this, is that I'd spent a ton furnishing it. I spent a lot of money furnishing the space.
You had put in so much.
Yeah, so I just couldn't.
You
I
just
mean,
You
I
went
went,
out.
on, I went on Twitter one day and I saw the TV. I'm like, boy.
But
I thought my
it's older.
65 inches was big till I saw his 85. I'm like, wow. You could literally
Yeah.
be in the kitchen and be watching
Yeah,
TV.
it's a dream for gamers. I play a lot of games, so
Oh,
it's,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I spent a lot, and I'd moved. I spent a lot just putting the ACs, putting all furnitures, and I was like,
I'm ready.
yeah, let me
Can I
just
just
stay
day?
here.
Make I just
Bele.
day.
Let me just stay here. Let me
Just
just
day.
let me just chest it.
So now that we're young people, right? So I do a lot of inspections with clients, and I have some who say, yeah, when you tell them, oh, would you consider buying a property for your child? You know, and they're like, My father did not pass anything to me. Anything, the house I'm living the only thing my children can see.
How
My
do you-
money, I'm eating it.
How do
I
you
go to
guys
the
feel
best
about it?
hotels.
How do you guys
Some
feel about
others
it?
like to say, "Oh, Harry is my first son. I buy some property in his name." But I'm marrying my second son. I have some property in his name. So I'd like to know what your stand is on that. You first, Harry.
Let him marry first.
So are you the guy who?
Let the person that's likely
Okay,
to, person that's
familiar.
closer to have this.
Maybe there's one on the way anyway.
Amen.
So I'm more of a family person, and
Okay.
I'll go with my dad's. My dad did that for us, so I feel like
Your daddy what?
buying
Again-
properties in our names.
Okay,
Even
okay.
though I've seen out,
Nah, Korodu.
the property is still there. He's still not collecting the rent, but I know it's in my name.
So basically, once he dies, you enter.
I'm the first child. I own all these properties. So
How about your
we are
siblings?
waiting. Huh?
Yeah.
They'll go
And
to
your
their
younger
husband's
ones,
house.
sister?
They'll go where?
To their husband's house.
They'll
Are
go
you
to their
only
husband's
son?
house.
I have two junior ones. They're still very small.
Boys?
Two boys. They're still very young.
So he won't
when
give
they
They
them.
have a
grow
long way
up,
to go.
So he won't give them.
Allow the
He
man
said
go
that. He
first.
said I'm the owner. He said I'm the owner of
Allow the
everything.
man go first, So, but I think I like that idea,
Okay.
buying things in their name when they grow up. Let them know that Popsy did this
For me.
us. I think it's a good thing.
It's something you're
Yeah,
definitely going
it's
to
something
do.
I will obviously do.
Oh, okay. What about you, Harry? No.
Yeah, I think it's a good. I think it's a good way of passing on wealth. And I'll give an example. My dad's boss. I mean, I'm not supposed to say this.
It's okay. You can speak
But yeah,
freely.
one of the things that he did that my father tells me a lot is he was able to buy properties in each of his children's name. Yeah.
Okay.
So even the kid that is currently in university, this man is like closer to 80, and she already has a property in her name. So if he goes tomorrow and there's usually if there's a family
Any-
tussle, I mean she can take care of herself.
She's good.
Yeah, she's good. So I think because just never know, especially if you marry multiple wives
Okay.
or if you have so many children, and there's usually tussles when these things happen. So I think it's a good way of passing on wealth. I'll do that, but I probably will not let them know at the initial stage of their life, so they don't get too
Too
comfortable
relaxed, yeah.
and too lazy.
You think the
I'll just
knowledge?
be waiting.
Do you think the knowledge of your father owning
It-
house is what's going to make you lazy?
It does, because you feel like more, especially when you're younger, not when you're older and then you meet the realities of life. When you're younger, maybe like university, you can decide to more.
Because of one house.
If I know,
you won't
if
go
I
to
know-
school, you won't finish.
Trust me, you should meet people
No,
that.
but I think it depends
you should meet
on
people.
number.
You should meet rich kids.
You hear that your dad has like three
to
houses
your house.
in
You
Parkview
should
where
meet
he's
rich kids in
collecting rent
university
and it's
and how they
lonely.
act like they are set for life. So it's only when they graduate and realize that more,
Not be so.
not be this money, they then start
Yeah,
hustling.
because I feel like every time I hear people saying, "Oh, that if you tell your children that you're leaving things for them, they're going to respond." I'm just like, I don't think that's what spoils children. I don't think it's the
It's
knowledge
usually when they
of-
graduate from university and then they realize that more, I cannot be
That's
depending on daddy to buy a recharge card.
Literally,
They then start
because
hustling.
you're collecting rent only once a year.
Yeah. Because that's why I said that university kids they're not wise.
Ah.
It's when they come out and like,
Well-
I should have graduated with the first class or with the 2-1. I should be working here. I should not have been busy doing rubbish in school. So
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're probably just going to buy, but you will let them know when they're much older.
yeah, way older, when they're more mature and when I can maybe pass the property to them, like, oh, I bought a house when you were a baby. Now that I'm leaving the world and you are for something.
Or you can just will it to them. It can even be your own.
This
Yeah.
guy is very optimistic.
He's
man.
an Igbo boy.
When I'm leaving the world and they're
When I'm-
40 something.
And
He's like the one that is on the sick bed. I was like, my children.
then he will now, before he says he will now die.
You
so
know
they will
that-
now- everything will scatter.
what you want to say.
Everything will scatter. Okay, that's so great. It's been so lovely having you both
Yeah,
here. And
have fun.
I find something I find so interesting is that you feel like you're putting so much because of how much you put in, you refuse to leave. A lot of people are quick to like, and people say younger generation, they don't stay any small, they don't want to go, they're so flighty. So it's so interesting that someone has put in money and like, because some people say, oh, I started this, I've reached here, but you know what, it's not working, bye-bye. Like, forget all the things I've put in. But yeah, that's like, look, I've put in money and, we're here already. Let's just write down. So that's a very interesting perspective. And I feel like our listeners will find that very interesting as well. Before you go, I usually ask our guests the question for our listeners. And I know you've spoken about it a bit, but can you both just touch on what you think anyone who is like young in your place like think of in the same station in life, is trying to rent a space in Lagos, what do you think they should particularly look out for? What are the things that they should avoid? What are the things you think should be at the top of their list? In fact, if there's one thing you think they must consider, what is that one thing?
I know your own is water because people don't have water in the island. My own is, I think, it's a facility.
Okay.
You know, don't look for. You don't really need to get a very big space. And you imagine someone that is single and is not ready to marry in the next 5 years, getting a duplex for what? You know, just if you can get a loft apartment, just be comfortable. You know, don't because one rich kid is getting a duplex and semi-detached in Osborne, you want to do so.
yeah.
You know,
Okay.
just look for something comfortable that you wake up every morning, you go downstairs to your kitchen, to your living room downstairs, you go back upstairs to your bedroom. Just something comfortable. Just be comfortable. Don't overreach.
Okay.
And don't underreach. You
All
don't
right.
need to like underreach.
Yeah,
Just don't
sometimes,
overreach.
yeah, I mean, don't worry. Yeah,
Yeah,
stay,
we get-
whatever,
we get
whatever
it.
you can afford. You
Yeah,
just
and
don't
on the
overstretch
budget,
yourself.
you know,
So you should stick to your budget.
stick to your budget. Though. Don't come and meet me and say you want to pay rent.
Bro, you see the DMs. You see the DMs.
Are you serious? Are you saying that since you started sharing your story, people are started reaching out
No,
to you?
even-
If you have 15 naira to
before-
furnish your house,
I mean, even
I
before.
should
I mean,
send
even
you DM
before.
too.
For those of
My
us that
rent is
are
expiring in December.
shut up. For those of us that are quite public, that we share some of our wins on
Yeah.
social media. I mean, he knows. We get. I mean, even before the house, didn't trust me. But yeah, to answer the question, so Lagos is chaotic enough. So I think you want a place that would sort of make you detach from the chaos that is the state
so
here.
oasis,
So
solace, quiet space.
super. So you want to. So and I get that from my house. I'm never going to cap.
Okay.
You want a place where you enter and it doesn't feel like you are in Lagos. Yeah. For somewhere that's really good for your mental health. I used to tell the person that I'm dating that, oh, I'm just struggling with a lot of things. I'm depressed. I struggle. Like this is like. I mean, I thought if I get this is going to go. How come I'm not sort of enjoying this?
So your problem was
But then
you.
yeah, I mean, I was on island. My problem was just everywhere just chaotic.
Okay.
Driving, traffic, the kind of car that I drive, police are trying to stop. I mean, the cops tried to stop me when I call them cops. Olokpa were trying to stop me when they're coming on the way. So all of that chaos, and then boys trying to obtain you.
Yeah.
Keke people struggling with you on the road, and then there's
Man, it's not
traffic,
easy.
Stuff. It's not
and then
easy.
meeting. So you want a place where, as a young person, you want a place where, once you open, you lock your door, you feel like
you're out of that state.
God bless you. So I think that was the priority for me, and for any young person, I think that is what you want because, and you might not realize it now. You might think, oh, you're normal, but that's why sometimes you be like, oh, I saw this guy last week and he just collapsed while he was working, but nothing wrong with him. Just, yeah, I mean, just a lot
Just
going on in
Lagos.
his mental
Okay.
space here.
So you have said, you know what, just be comfortable, don't overreach,
Yeah.
stay in your lane. And you have said, whatever you do, make sure it's very comfortable. Make sure it takes
Yes.
you out of the chaos as Lagos.
Yeah.
So our listeners at home, I hope you are going to take these 2 points, run with them, and hopefully you come and share your positives with us.
Yeah. Thank you to our guests, to Pamela, to Harry. Thank you so much for
Thank
gracing
you
us
so
with
much.
presence.
Thank you so much. Such
We
a
had
lovely,
fun doing this with you guys.
Such a lovely time. I'm so glad you guys were here.
Thanks for having
Thank
me.
you. All right. So our listeners at home, enjoy. Catch you next time.
Bye bye.